Between the ages of 4 and 9 in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Amelia, not her real name, was subjected to prolonged and appalling sexual abuse by Peter Stewart, a man trusted by the Jehovah's Witnesses in Loughborough as a ministerial servant.
At the time, it was just horrible. It was just confusing and just made you feel it was just the ridiculous levels of guilt that you were sinning, that you were doing these awful things, that you were going to get killed at Armageddon because you were doing these awful things, and no matter how badly you tried to avoid it and stop it, it never happened. You could never get away from it because he would always pop up.
Shortly after Amelia's abuse began, Peter Stewart was found to have abused another child in the Jehovah's Witness community. He was removed as a ministerial servant, but because he told elders he'd repented, he was allowed to continue to lead many of the activities he'd performed in that role. He continued to abuse Amelia for another 4 years. In 1995, Stewart was convicted of child sexual offences, including rape and indecent assault, and sentenced to 5 years in prison. When Peter Stewart was released from prison, he wrote this letter to Amelia's mother, and in it, he spoke directly to Amelia. "Do not let the actions of a pervert, you know that's how I'm now known, harm you in your future life. I can't undo what I've done." Today, Mr. Justice Globe ruled that the Jehovah's Witnesses organisation was liable for the abuse carried out by Stewart and had failed to take sufficient safeguarding measures to protect Amelia.
I think this should be a wake-up call to the Jehovah's Witness organization that they need to implement better child safeguarding policies that are in line with modern-day knowledge about child safeguarding and sexual abuse.
The Charity Commission, which regulates charities in England and Wales, is currently investigating the Jehovah's Witnesses safeguarding policy. For Amelia, there now needs to be a new approach.
They need to admit to themselves that there is a massive problem. These aren't apostates, these are people who have suffered from horrible, horrible crimes and had their lives completely wrecked. They're not out to destroy the organisation.
The Jehovah's Witnesses organisation has said that it will review today's judgment. Clive Coleman, BBC News.